And I know one of the things that I shared in the last 23 days was going through a class in university where I took an entrepreneurship class, and we had to come up with an idea and present it. And I realized really quickly, because I had such a great group of people around me, that I was around some really smart people that knew the financial side of things and some really smart people that knew how to write the business plan and the marketing plan. And my role was going to be to present it, to be enrolling, and to get on that stage. And I did. That was actually one of the very first experiences. You know, I had a few other times standing in front of classes and presenting stuff, or being interviewed on the news, because I used to play some hockey and stuff too. So I'd do some good old hockey interviews. Yeah, you know, the boys are really working hard tonight. And yeah, you know, those kind of interviews. But anyways, I leaned into that at that time. And I told the story of the idea that we had, which we called Quick Bites. And we actually won 4th place in this competition. And for those of you that know, which I'm sure everybody knows this by now, but like Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, what is there, DoorDash, there's a whole bunch of them that are food delivery services. That was our idea in 2003. Way ahead of its time. You know, I think even in the presentation, I think I actually used a flip phone to make the order, like hypothetically make the order. And then chicken wings showed up for all the judges and stuff. And they're like, ooh, this is a good idea, right? But it was way too early. But that was just one of many instances where I can look back and say, I had a great idea. I didn't take action on it. And it went on to become a multi-million, in some cases, $billion idea. And I said that out loud because, one, I just think it's an interesting story that people might be able to relate to. And I don't hold on to any, you know, resentments or feeling of like, man, that was my shot or anything like that. But I do know people that have incredible gifts, incredible talent, incredible visions. And I watch those ideas come to life, but not by them. And why? I ask myself, why? Why is that? And this is some of the things that I've dove deep on in the last 6 months, is to say, like, why? Why do I do this? Why do I have something that shows up in front of me and says, here it is, everything that you've ever desired. And then I don't pay attention to it because I'm so focused on some other thing that I'm quite frankly ignoring the thing that's just slapping me in the face and saying, go this direction. And that's not to say that the path of least resistance is always the way to go. Sometimes we get to muscle through things. Sometimes we get to lean in to hard shit. It's no different than my experience in doing cold plunging for the last, I guess, like 4.5 months or so. That was part of the reason I did it, was because I knew I wanted to train myself to say, life is going to continue to throw things at me. It's going to continue to say, you can't do that. And I get to say, well, I'm going to try. And I'm going to push forward. Or in some cases, you know what? I'm going to surrender to that one and I'm going to go this direction. Whatever the case might be, there's all these different variables where life can take us down these different forks. And no matter which fork we take, though, we get to see them all as gifts, whatever the outcome is. Whether it's that business that you never took action on, whether it was that marriage that you had great intentions for, but then you didn't show up in that relationship. And then you had to take responsibility and ownership over that as opposed to blaming somebody else. And I'm speaking out loud from personal experience. That until we go through these things and we realize and we reflect back that, wow, all of this stuff actually brought me to here in this moment right now. You watching and listening to this right now, you are here because of the choices that you made. Just like me, I'm here because of the choices that I made. And while I am a believer in the law of attraction and that we can manifest our reality, I'm also a huge believer in the fact that we also have the ability to choose. And that committed action gets us moving in the right direction. And that momentum is what ultimately creates everything that we desire in life. And when we are conscious and we are attentive to the signs that show up in front of us that say, hey, here's something that you should really pay attention to. I know it doesn't make any sense, but you should really go do it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch the full unedited episode, go ahead and click over here. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. Thanks so much.